Can you see all the scratches on my hand? Yeah. So that's how mad he was. Not only was he like frightened, he was mad. Like he was like, stay away from me or I'm going to attack you.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It's 8 a.m. and here's Simba. Simba got a lot of pets this morning. Here's Stella. Good morning, Stella. I'm getting a late start today. I wanted to get up earlier than this, but Boo woke me up at about 2:30 a.m. He was itching and itching and itching, so I had to put some stuff on his neck to stop the itching, and then I didn't get back to sleep right away. Here's Boo now. I just opened his window because it's only 76 degrees out right now. And I just heard that it's supposed to get up to 100 degrees today. So this is going to be our hottest day ever. I need to get ready for my day as fast as I can because I want to be able to do some stuff outside before it gets too hot. I also need to go to the post office, run a few errands. So that's where that stands. But I wanted to show you what's going on the patio. Can you see what's going on there? I know it's hard to see through that screen. That's one of the pet-friendly screens. But the tabby is laying on the patio, keeping an eye on the back door. You see him? He's like between the lemon tree and the geraniums, below the chair. It's 9 a.m. It's already starting to get really hot out. I just put a plate of food out. It's 2 beef Sheba perfect portions with some crunchies on top. There's the cat. That's one of his favorite spots. I still don't know what his name is. It is 8:37 p.m. and I'm bringing a plate of food out for the cat. He's underneath the house behind the plants. I don't know if you could see him. Feels good outside right now. There's a breeze and it's definitely cooled down. And this is some of the wellness pate. This is the chicken and herring with a scoop of dry cat food on top. The inside cats don't really like this food, so that's why I've been giving it to him. And this is what he does. He waits for me to go inside, then he goes over to the plate to eat. It got up to around 100 degrees today. It was like really, really hot. And I was outside around noon. I had to go to the post office, had to go to the supermarket. But it felt good to me. It wasn't like too humid. So I was happy to be outside, but then I worked most of the afternoon on my computer. So I was sitting in front of air conditioning, which is not really the best thing for me. I don't know. I just keep hearing different names for this cat. It's not settling onto one name, so I don't know what the deal is. And then, like, a day or two ago, I looked at it, I'm like, it looks like a Christopher. For some reason, to me, it looked like a Christopher. So, I don't know. I don't know if a name's going to stick on it or what, but sometimes it does take a little while to figure out a name. It is 7:45 a.m. And I wanted to show you what I just saw because I came downstairs to get something and I opened the door and the skinny tabby was out here and Ringo was here. So Ringo was laying here and the tabby was laying here. They were like laying with each other. Hey, Sammy. Nancy's upstairs. She snuck upstairs, I don't know, like 20 minutes ago. I don't want the Lucky 7 going upstairs in the morning until I could flea comb them first. And I didn't have a chance to flea comb her, but she's under my bed right now, so there's nothing I can do about that. I need to go downstairs and get something. And I think what I'll do is I'll put out some food for the little guy. And the reason why is because it kind of looks like it might start raining soon. So I'll just get him fed because obviously he's hanging out here looking for food. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Richard. Ringo and Richard were looking at the little boy outside. I don't know. I still have to figure out a name for him. I just went for a walk and I came back and this guy was hanging out on the patio. So I decided to give him what's left in the can of food just to see how hungry he is. And he went back to eat more. And I don't know why, but today I think his name is Leroy. I keep hearing Bad, Bad Leroy Brown in my head. You know the Jim Croce song? Because this cat is a badass. I mean, he is a very, very fierce hunter. And he's a survivor out there. So maybe he's the baddest cat in the whole damn town. It's 8:30 p.m. I'm bringing a plate of food out. I just put a plate of food out. I opened a new can of the Wellness Pate. I believe this is turkey pate. So I give him 4 ounces of food. And I also give him a tablespoon of crunchies on top. I don't know if he's a kitten, meaning like less than a year old or just about a year old, or if he's just a small cat. So that's why I make sure to give him a good amount of food. Plus, he does live outside, so he's going to be burning more calories than the inside cats. The inside cats get about 2.5 ounces of food for their meals, and then they get a treat or like a little bit of crunchies or a little bit of canned food as a snack. And I've been giving him like 2 meals of about 4 ounces each. There's been a few days where he hasn't been around for one of the meals, so I don't put any food out. So, for example, I was outside about a half hour ago and I looked for him, did not see him, so I didn't put any food out. Then I just took some garbage out and I saw him. So he came by and he's obviously looking for a meal because he knows to come by like right before it gets dark. And so that's why I give him some food. And I'm getting all the cats ready for their evening. All I need to do is finish vacuuming up here, then they're all going to get their dinner. It is 8:30, and I'm putting a plate of food outside for my little cat friend. I don't know if you could see him, but he's in the plants. See him? He's super skittish. He reminds me so much of Richard, because he acts a lot like Richard. But Richard is like super skittish sometimes, but then he's normal and he wants a million pets and loves getting combed and brushed and playing with me. So I was thinking of getting a wand toy and trying to play with this guy, but I'm not going to do it right now because it's getting dark and I know he's looking for food because I was cleaning up these plates. And when I went inside to get the camera, he was coming over to the plates looking for food. So that's when I said, I'm just going to come out with food. So that's what I have. I'm going to clean these up. And he has some leftover raw food, a little bit of Friskies, and then some dry food on top. I give him the dry food just to boost his calorie intake. It is almost 10 a.m. Here's Boo. And we're getting a little bit of a late start to our day because I didn't get to bed until about 1 a.m. yesterday. So I, slept until a decent hour this morning. But Nancy's up here also. And I don't know where Nancy is right now, but there was just a confrontation between her and Boo. So I'm sitting down on the sofa in the living room and I'm trying to find some information for Grandma Farrell. And I'm looking through a book for her. And all of a sudden, I hear howling. I'm like, what is it going on? So I get up and I look in the hall and Nancy and Boo are about, I don't know, 1.5 feet away from each other and they're howling at each other. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are you guys doing this? And it was pretty tense between them. And I discovered something today that I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, but I'm going to share what I did. I started howling. Here's Stella. And I tried to sound as much like them as I could, and it totally worked. They both just stopped and looked at me. And Nancy backed away from Boo, and she moved down the hall, and I just howled again. And that seemed to completely disengage the two of them. So that's when I said, okay, I'm going to grab the camera and document this because I have to remember to do that. That was like the best thing ever. Here's Nancy now. She's in my room, so she must have went under the bed. But the howling worked. So if you have two cats who are kind of in a standoff with each other or not, full altercation, but they're kind of, thinking about it, try howling at them. It is 10:55 a.m. Boo, Stella, and Simba are eating their breakfast. Today they're having some canned fish with a little bit of crunchies on top. And look at what else is going on. That's Nancy. Nancy's eating with the big cats. She was up here with them, and I noticed that anytime I open like food for them or start their breakfast, then she knows to go downstairs. So then I was like, I wonder if she would eat up here with them. And sure enough, she's eating with them, and everyone's getting along. I don't want to jinx anything because, other than, the little standoff before between her and Boo, other than that, she's been acting pretty good with them. Like, she hasn't been trying to disrupt everyone's happiness. So Richard's on the other side of the door. He's meowing, but I want to make sure everyone eats first before I go down there and feed the lucky 7. It's 11:30 a.m. and I just put some canned food outside for this cat. I don't know why, but today I think his name is Walter. Like, every single day, I feel like his name is something different. So I don't know if it's a girl now, because this is what happened with Nancy. When I was trying to find a name for Nancy, like, nothing was sticking, nothing was working. And then I was like, oh, she's probably a girl. And then, like, immediately I knew her name. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like this cat is a boy based on videos that I've seen, but maybe it's a girl. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's why none of the names are sticking. It is 10:45 p.m. Here's Boo, and something just happened between him and Nancy. So I'm in the other room, and I'm looking through some emails and relaxing for like 5 minutes because I've been just doing stuff nonstop today. And then all of a sudden I hear like a cat scream, and it sounded like someone attacked someone. So I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. So I get up and I look, and it's not in my room, it's not in the hallway. And then I realized it's in this room because I heard howling. And Boo was here, Nancy was here, and Nancy was howling. So I did the howling thing. I started howling at her, and you know what she did? She ran off. And then she ran into the kitchen, and I howled at her again. Her eyes got all big. I opened the door, and she ran downstairs. So I'm 2 for 2 with this howling stuff as far as keeping Nancy in line and breaking up any cat fights. Here's Splash. He's not too happy about what happened. And this is what's left over from their dinner. So the cats all had canned food for dinner tonight. And I gave them, I think it was like 2 different types of Sheba. And I know they usually like the Sheba. Then I also gave them some Fancy Feast Naturals. So I don't know if that's what they left on their plate or if they didn't like one of the Sheba flavors. But what I did was, after I took care of the Lucky 7 downstairs, I came back up and I put their plates here. And I put some crunchies on their plates because sometimes they'll finish their food that way. But they didn't do that. So maybe they'll go back and finish it. What I need to do now is set up their automatic feeders because they're going to eat out of their automatic feeders for breakfast and dinner tomorrow. I am going away for the day, and I'm leaving as early as I can, which, I'm not getting up super early. Like, whenever I wake up, but I don't want to spend like hours dealing with the cats. The Lucky 7 are going to stay downstairs tomorrow, and I'm going to set up their feeder also, and yeah, hopefully that'll be it for tonight. I'm going to just set up everyone's feeders, and then I want to go to bed because I'm really tired. But before I do that, look at what I got at Marshall's today. This is just so cool. It is a palm tree cat scratcher, and the cats love it. Sammy was scratching on it. I think Richard was scratching on it. A few other members of the Lucky 7. And Simba was like laying under it. He was scratching it. For some reason, the cats like to lay under it. Maybe they think like that's like real foliage. But it's a really nice height. I want to say it's like 36 inches tall. It's definitely taller than your typical cat scratcher. And it's really stable and sturdy, and it was only $19.99. And I'm kind of mad that I did not get the other one, because what happened was they had 2 of them in the store. And I remember looking at one of them going, should I get it? Should I not get it? I really liked the fact that it was tall. And I thought, the fact that it's a palm tree, has like the fake foliage on top. I thought that was really interesting. I thought the cats would like it. But I was debating, like, I don't know if I need it, that kind of thing. So I didn't take it off the shelf and put it in a shopping cart. And then I walked through the rest of the store looking at various other things. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go back and I'm going to get one. So I went back to the shelf, and they only had 1 left. So originally they had 2. That's when I was debating, should I get one? I walked around the store, came back, they only had one. So that means someone else bought one in like the 10 minutes that I was walking around the store. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to buy the last one that they had because, I definitely want to try it. I was really hoping to get one for upstairs and one for downstairs. But now that I know that they like them, I think what I'm going to do is maybe try to pop into another Marshall's tomorrow and see if they have it. I did see very similar ones on Amazon. The only thing with Amazon is things can actually look different in real life than they do like in the photos on Amazon, even in the reviews on Amazon. And I know this one is really good quality. I know the cats really, really like it. So I'd rather just get another one identical to this. And Amazon does not have any that are identical to this. So that's why I'm going to maybe look into Marshall's. I mean, if I don't go to Marshall's tomorrow, because I don't know if I'm going to have time, then obviously the following day or the day after that, I could always try to run into another one. So this is one of the things I got for the cats today. It is now 11 p.m. and here's Boo, and he just threw up. He threw up here on his little Boo mat, and he threw up here on the floor. It was crunchies and then like a whole bunch of liquid. So I cleaned it up, and then I said I have to look at the security camera footage to see like what happened, because I know, the incident with Nancy probably, upset him, and that's probably why he vomited. So from the security camera footage, I could see in one video, he walks into the room and he drinks a bunch of water, which, cats do after they eat dry cat food. It makes them more thirsty. So he drank water. And then in the next video, all I see is him up here, Nancy there, and Nancy's howling at him. But I should also mention in the video where he's drinking water, this is where Nancy was. So Nancy was already up here when Boo was drinking water. And then I don't see him, like the video cut off, and I don't see him, like what happened between the water bowl and here. So I guess he jumped up here and then Nancy wasn't happy, or maybe Boo didn't even see Nancy up here because the light wasn't on in the room, and maybe he didn't even think to look. I don't know, but something happened. Like Nancy was here to begin with, and then Boo ended up here. So I think he jumped up here, or he walked across the table and he got here, and then Nancy decided to howl at him, or maybe she lunged at him, tried to ambush him a little bit. I don't know, but she was yelling and howling. So that's probably what upset him, and that's why he threw up. So I'm going to see if I could set up their feeders for tomorrow. Boo's going to throw up. Oh. So Boo threw up on the bed. You could see it there. And Simba and Stella are just laying on the bed like nothing's going on. Stella just jumped off when I got the camera, but Simba's just still laying here. And thank God for this vomit blanket. Otherwise, I'd be up till God knows what hour doing laundry. So I'm just going to clean up all this stuff off the vomit blanket, clean up the vomit blanket as good as I can. And then tomorrow morning, I'll put it in the laundry. It is almost 9 a.m. and here's Boo. And Boo threw up this morning, and he threw up in the middle of the night. So Boo threw up yesterday, last night, after his little altercation with Nancy in this room. Then, right when I was going to bed, Boo threw up on the bed. He threw up on the vomit blanket, thankfully. And so I cleaned it up the best I could, and I rolled it up, and I put it aside, and I put a new vomit blanket on the bed, and I made a mental note to put the dirty one in the laundry in the morning. I go to sleep, and around 2:30 in the morning, I get woken up by Boo because he is grooming and itching, and I'm like, what's going on, Boo? So I flee combed him. He had no fleas. And I was like, okay, maybe this is an anxiety thing because of what happened with Nancy. So I gave him some of the calming drops with a squeeze up, and he ate that. And then about 10 minutes later, or 15 minutes later, or 20 minutes later, I mean, it was a short while later, he vomits that on the bed. So that means the second vomit blanket was vomited on. So at that point, I had to get up, get out of bed, and put the first vomit blanket in the wash and try to fall back asleep. But I had to sleep on the couch because I'm not going to sleep on a bed that Boo keeps vomiting on. So I fell asleep on the couch, and the cats had their crunchy feeders set up to give them breakfast today. They were set up for 7 a.m. So maybe like 15 minutes before that, Boo decides to find me on the sofa, and I get woken up, and he wants to lay next to me, which is fine. The second he hears the feeders go off, he runs to them and starts eating. And I was laying there just trying to get some more rest or sleep because I was so tired because I went to bed late and then I woke up throughout the night. So I'm thinking to myself, is he eating all the crunchy? Like, how many feeders is he eating out of? Like, all 4 feeders went off, but I don't remember hearing like Stella or Splash and Simba eating. Like, I don't remember hearing more than one cat eating at once. So I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe Boo's eating from multiple feeders. Like, I don't know what's going on. But the plan was that if Boo ate his breakfast and he did not vomit after breakfast, then I would go on my trip today and everything would be fine. If he vomited after breakfast, then I'm going to have to cancel the trip and stay home because I can't have a cat vomiting all day while I'm out. And, you know, I can't come back to who knows how much vomit. So what happened was when I got up, I walked into my bedroom and stepped in a pile of vomit. So I was like, okay, so obviously someone threw up. Then I found more vomit near the front door. I found more vomit in 2 other locations in my room. I found vomit in the dining room. So it looks like Boo vomited in multiple locations this morning and potentially even vomited in some locations overnight. Although I did put all of the food away that was left over from yesterday. So maybe what happened yesterday was he vomited near the front door before he came into this room to drink water and before his altercation with Nancy. Because after that altercation, it was mostly like liquid with a few crunchies. Where it stands now is Boo's acting normal. Like, he's not acting like he's sick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off all the feeders and he's just going to rest his stomach all day. And I'm going to go out to the supermarket. I'm going to buy some like chicken breast and I'm just going to make some boiled chicken for him. Because that's what I did for, I believe it was Simba in the past, or it might have been Boo in the past. One of them, either Simba or Boo, had an upset stomach like this. And that's what I had to do. I had to rest the stomach. And then I just gave him just really bland, plain boiled chicken for a meal or 2. And then he was fine after that. So that's the plan right now. I just have to keep him from eating stuff. So I have to turn off the automatic feeders. I have to finish doing the laundry and completely change my plans for the day. It's 1:15 p.m. I just got home from the supermarket. I went to buy some chicken for the cats and some cleaning spray for the cats. Also, I'm all out of my pet mess cleaning spray. And I've been using the Resolve Pet Expert. That's been my favorite one so far. And I just came home and I want to change my clothes into something comfortable and cool. And look what I found in my room. This is the bag that I laid out so I could pack it for my trip today. You know, I just wanted to make sure I had enough stuff with me. And nope, Sammy decides that she needs to lay on it. She could lay anywhere in the house right now. She needs to lay on the bag. It's about 8:25 p.m. and I was just outside and our little friend is here. I still don't have a name for him. And he's there underneath the flower pots. Can you see him? See him there? So I went into the garage and I grabbed a wand toy. The wand toy that I use with the Lucky 7. And he might want to play with it because I was waving it around and he looked really interested in it. It has feathers, and when I played with the Lucky 7, they thought it was a bird and they grabbed it and they ran off with it. So maybe he'll want to play with me.
Okay, he's afraid. He just ran off.
There he is. He's a little freaked out, so he doesn't know how to play. Or maybe he does. I'm going to try again another day, but right now I'll just put some food out for him. I'm giving him some of the wellness chicken pate, and I'm also going to give him some of the freshly roasted chicken. The inside cats aren't too crazy about it, so maybe he'll like it. So there it is. I'm going to go inside so he'll eat it before the ants get to it. He's looking at it like he doesn't know what it is. He's like, what is this? I hope he likes it. Looks like he's eating the chicken off the top. Roasted chicken is what made Sammy like me. Like when she was trapped and then she escaped from the recovery cage and she was hiding under the day sofa in Boo's room. When I gave her roasted chicken, then she decided that she'll be my friend. All right, it looks like he's enjoying that. That's good. I already scooped all of the litter. Actually, I scrubbed all of the water bowls today, except for downstairs. And I just looked, and I have to shut the garage door. The light's on in the garage, and the door's open. So I'll do that in a little while when he's done eating. I'll vacuum right now, and by the time I'm done vacuuming, he should be done eating. So Boo ate some of the roasted chicken maybe like an hour and a half ago. And I did not want to feed them anything else because I just wanted to see how he did with that. And he did not vomit it. So I just gave him a little bit of this canned food because he and Stella were looking for some of it. This is what I just fed the cat outside. I only gave Boo like 2 little spoons of it. Stella has a little bit more on her plate, but they're just going to get a light dinner today. They're not going to get like a heavy dinner or anything like that. It's 4:55 p.m. and here's Simba. And we just had a wasp in the house. I have no idea how it got in the house. I'm working on my computer and all of a sudden I look up and there's like a bug flying around the house and Simba's like running after it. And I'm like, that's a really big bug. And it was the oddest bug I've ever seen because I couldn't figure out if it was 2 bugs or 1 bug because it had like this super thin middle to it. So I thought, well, maybe it was like 2 bugs on top of each other and like they're holding on to each other. Like, I don't know what was going on. So what I did was I opened the front door and I propped it open. I was going to try to just get it to fly out, but it landed on this window near Simba. It landed high up on the window. So I don't have a fly swatter or anything like that. So I grabbed like a supermarket flyer and I rolled it up and I smacked it. And I think I stunned it. So it fell down. It fell down onto this cat tower right here. So I scooped it up in the flyer and then I took it outside. And I don't know if it's dead or wounded or what, but I put it outside and I don't need a wasp inside of this house. And I don't know where it came from. And it was really freaky looking. Like the middle of it was super, super thin. I never saw a wasp like that before, but I looked it up and it says that it is a mud dauber. I think that's how you pronounce it. So these type of wasps make nests out of mud. So now I'm going to have to look outside the house somewhere and see if I notice like a nest anywhere. Maybe that's where it came from. The only thing I could think of is like when I opened the door today, because I did go out to run some errands and I was coming in and out for a little bit. Maybe that's where it came from. And this is what I purchased today. I got another one of these palm tree cat scratchers. I was super lucky to find this in Marshall's because I went to Marshall's, then I went to Home Goods, then I went to TJ Maxx, then I went to another Home Goods. None of those stores had this. Then I went back to the Marshall's where I purchased this one, the first one. And I said, let me look around the store really good because sometimes a store will get multiple items and sometimes they're not put in the same place. Maybe someone picks it up, walks off with it, and then puts it down somewhere. And what happened was I found this one not where it was supposed to be. I found this one like completely on the other end of the pet section, and it wasn't where the cat towers are. It was like down on a low shelf, and it was like sideways laying on the shelf. It looked like it was just thrown there or stashed there. So I was super happy that I found it. So what I'll do is I'll put this together and then put it downstairs. So when the lucky 7 are downstairs, they can enjoy scratching on this and laying underneath it. Here's Nancy and Ziggy. So they were laying on my bed while I was out. Hey, Ziggy, I had the door shut. And Nancy's been pretty good with fleas. I really didn't get any fleas off of her this morning. And I only got a few off of Ziggy. There's Sammy. She's on top of the cat tower. And I just remembered that I have to go put new sticky paper in the flea traps downstairs. So what I want to do is every Monday replace the sticky paper, so then I have a good idea of how many fleas or bugs are trapped on it during the week. This week was definitely way less bugs on it than last week. And it was just a little bit less fleas than last week also. So that is moving in a good direction. There's Nancy. She's already checking out the new scratcher. It is 7:51 a.m. and Simba was just scratching on the palm tree. Here goes Stella. They love this palm tree. And I put one downstairs for the lucky 7, and they've been enjoying their palm tree also. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on these anytime I go to like Marshall's or TJ Maxx or Home Goods. Maybe buy a backup or two, because scratching posts don't really last that long. And this is some fresh cat grass. I just grew it for the cats. They haven't had cat grass in a long time, right, Stella? Stella's gonna dive right into it. So I got 2 fleas off of Boo this morning, and I don't think it's a coincidence that he spent the night by the open window in his room. And I also got a flea off of Stella. So last night the weather was cooler, and I opened the windows instead of having the AC on. And then this morning, I just combed 3 fleas off these guys. I don't think it's a coincidence at all. So I'm going to have to make a conscious effort to keep the windows shut more. But the cats love the fresh air, especially in the summertime. And they love smelling the air. So I don't know. I got to figure something out. Maybe I'll just close them at night, keep them open more during the day when I can. Today is rainy, and it's gray and rainy. We're supposed to have 3 days of this kind of weather, which, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We've had a lot of sunny and dry weather, so I'm not complaining about this summer at all. This summer, aside from it being a little bit too hot, I've really, really been enjoying the weather. So the only downside is that I did want to scrub litter boxes outside today, if not tomorrow. So I'm going to have to put that off for a little while. I don't know, unless I could sneak it in. I don't know. I'll have to see what the weather forecasts are, but that is what's going on here. Oh, and one other thing that I wanted to mention is that the tabby cat outside, although it comes by for meals, has not been spending time in my yard. Like when I go outside, I don't see it around at all unless it's around mealtime. So I don't want anyone thinking that, it's moved into my patio, it's making a home in my yard. That has not been the case at all. Whenever I go outside, I never see it unless it's close to its meal times. Then I'll see it there waiting for food. But other than that, it's not living in my yard. It has not been around. What's going on, Stella? You could share. Stella, you could share. It's 4:30 p.m. Here's Nancy and Ziggy. They're laying on my bed. They enjoy doing this in the afternoon. Usually there's more than 2 cats on the bed, but right now it's just these 2. There's Sammy. She's on the bunk bed. There's Richard. Today has been super humid. It's not terribly hot. It's only like 82 degrees, but it is just so humid. So I have the window shut and the AC on. It's also a bit rainy today. Not heavy rains, just more like drizzly. So not the nicest day. I came downstairs a few minutes ago to grab some paper towels, and I was hanging out with Eva. You know, she's still really skittish around me, so I was just trying to just relax around her and see what she does. And I found this. This is in the back room. It was like underneath a shelf. And this is the Crunchy robot that I used to have hooked up to the super chats on the live stream. So it says red on, green go, because there was like a little LED light on it. And it says Crunchy robot super chat feeds the cat. So whenever anyone donated any amount of money in super chat, it would dispense crunchies, and usually Boo or one of the other cats would come and eat the crunchies. And I looked up information about this, and it ends up that the company that made the parts that I used to build this was bought out by another company, and that company no longer supports the like the Wi-Fi or cloud technology. So this no longer works, so I am going to get rid of it. So this is just basically a cardboard box, and this is just a piece of plastic from like a takeout container. And this is what's left of the Crunchy robot. So this was one of the pieces that I used. It was part of like a kit. It was like a smart home kit, I believe. And this is one of the pieces that I used from the kit. And here's another. This is two pieces, I believe. Yeah. So this is the cloud. I think it's W20 cloud. So this, I believe, was called the cloud bit. This is all from Little Bits. And then this is the servo, and this is what would make the feeder, the dispenser, the Crunchy dispenser turn and dispense food. And then this metal container, I had cut a hole into it, and you could see this hole here. So this was connected to a piece that would rotate when there was a super chat, and as it would rotate, it would dispense some of the dry cat food through this hole. This is the power supply. Although this power supply, actually this power supply is for something completely different. So I'm actually happy I just found it. Extension cord. This was the power plug. You see it says Little Bits on it. That's the company that made this kit. And this was all just constructed out of boxes. Like this is like a shoebox. So this piece is where the USB power came in. So it was basically created like this. The piece on the left is the USB power input. Then this piece in the middle that I'm holding with the orange ends, that is the cloud bit. This would connect to like the internet and connect to YouTube super chats. And then this green piece on the right, it would turn this thing here. I don't even know what you would call that. This metal can was taped to this. So when the whole thing would turn, this is what would dispense the crunchies based off of the data coming in from this middle piece. So that's how simple this robot was to make, and it worked sometimes. I want to say it worked more than half of the time that I was using it, because sometimes it was having problems with this connection piece. Sometimes for whatever reason it wouldn't connect or it wouldn't register. It was fun while it lasted. And then this whole thing, like these three pieces were connected to this board here. Kind of reminds me of like a Lego board. And then this whole thing was mounted on top here, I believe. That's where it was. And then this was inside of this box. And then this is the tray where the crunchies would get dispensed out into. And then Boo would eat them out of here. So this was the Crunchy robot. And unfortunately, it no longer works because the cloud connection is no longer supported by the company that purchased Little Bits. The new company is Sphero, and they just decided to kind of end of life this product. So Goodbye, crunchy robot. It was nice knowing you. It's 9:45 a.m. Look at Boo. He's all stretched out on the play rug. It is super humid right now. It was super humid yesterday. I mean, we're talking like 80% humidity in the house because I have the little humidity sensors and the temperature sensors throughout the house. So I'm going to put the air on just to bring the inside humidity down. And I'm in the process of shutting all the windows. And I walked into the living room and I saw this. I'm like, yeah, Boo's hot also. It's just really sticky. It's horrible. And what I'm realizing is that the more you use air conditioning, like in the summer, the more your body adjusts to the air conditioning and the more uncomfortable you get when you're not using it. So this is the first summer that I'm really using the air conditioning a lot because I have problems with the central air unit and, you know, it can't work as well as it needs to because normally I don't use it unless I get really uncomfortable. Then I'll put it on and it'll bring the temperature down like 3 or 4 degrees. And then, you know, I'll keep it cool for a while, a few hours, then I'll shut it off again. But because the AC can't do that and it has to maintain a temperature, like it could bring everything down like 1 degrees, maybe 2 degrees, but anything more than that, it has to work too hard and it doesn't work. Because I've been trying to maintain an even temperature, I've been using it like almost every day and my body has adjusted to it. And now I really feel the difference between like not using it and using it. So not thrilled about this, but if I could get through the summer, if I could get through the next 2 months, I'm filming this like 2/3 of the way through July. If I could get through August and into the middle of September, then I would be completely happy to then change out the unit and get a new unit. I'm just trying to get through the summer without having to do that. Right, Boo? Here's Simba. Here's Stella. I hung the spider on the palm tree and they were playing with that for a while. I should also mention that Boo was sleeping on my bed last night and for some reason I woke up around 2:30 in the morning and he was itching. So I flea combed him and I did not get any fleas off of him. But finally he stopped itching. But I couldn't get back to bed. I was like wide awake. I was like, what is wrong with me? It's 2:30 in the morning. I've had like 2 hours of sleep and I am like wide awake. So after a while, I was finally able to get to sleep, but I'm running a little bit late this morning. I wish I would have gotten up earlier. It's almost 12 p.m. and I just walked past Boo's room and saw this. This is Ringo. He wants to eat the palm tree because that's why I moved the palm trees here so that he would not eat them. Because he's been pulling them off of the little table in my room where they were. Then they would fall on the ground and he would chew on them. I don't know if you could tell, but the palm tree in front of him has been like half eaten. So yesterday, I took the palm trees outside and I repotted them in larger pots because that's something I've been wanting to do for weeks now. And I also have like a money tree there. And I repotted that also, so the plants would be nice and happy. But Ringo wants to eat them. And this is what I have. I have fresh cat grass. Ringo, this is for you. This cat grass is for you, Ringo. Ringo, the cat grass is for you, okay? This is for cats, okay? Now, I should also point out that for the past several weeks, here you go, Ringo, I'll put it on the floor. For the past several weeks, I've been putting multivitamins in their cat food instead of my homemade supplement mix. Now, my homemade supplement mix includes powdered cat grass or powdered wheatgrass. I use like 2 different types of like powdered grass. And the reason why I do that is because I know the cats love chewing on greens. And I also haven't grew them any cat grass in a while. So that's why I grew them cat grass because they haven't had it in a while. And yesterday I put together my homemade supplement mix. And this is what I include. It's amazing grass, amazing trio, barley grass, wheatgrass, and alfalfa. And I swear when I give this to the cats on a regular basis, then they don't want to eat houseplants. So I have to start doing this again because it's only very recently that Ringo and even Ziggy have started eating the palm tree again. For the longest time, they didn't touch it. I also add this to the homemade cat food. This is organic alfalfa. So for 11 cats, I add 1 teaspoon of this. So each cat probably gets around 1/10 of a teaspoon. Not a lot, but on a consistent basis. I definitely think it helps giving them the nutrition that they want from greens so they don't end up eating my plants. It is mail time for the cats. Let's open the mail and see what the cats got. I'm here with Sammy. Hey, Sammy. Everyone else is taking a nap. We'll start with an envelope. This says, just buzzing by to say hi, and look at the cute little bees. Isn't that adorable? This says, hello. Oh, and look who's joining us. Look who's here at Simba. Hey, Simba, where were you? Oh, Simba was in Boo's room. This says, hello. And it says, happy furry summer wishes, LF and crew. Boo, Eva, Goldie, Nancy, Richard, Ringo, Sammy, Splash, Simba, Stella, Ziggy, Ditto, and Hydrox. And look at all the little cats and the bananas. Look, and there's Boo. And there's Sammy. And there's all the other cats. Isn't that cute? That looks like Splash. That is so cute. This says, thank you for caring and sharing your meow journey. Your vlogs brighten our day. Bless you for your beautiful heart. And this says K and R and L and R. I think that's what it says. Thank you so much for this lovely note. And this is celebrating you. God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. Belated happiest birthday wishes for you, LF. May your day be filled with good things and happy moments, a special time of rejoicing in the unique and wonderful person God created in you. Happy birthday, beautiful day wishes for you. Q family and cats, kittens, and Lumpia. I'm sorry if I messed that up. P.S. A special happy second birthday, Lucky 7 and all LF family. And Cat B Days. Thank you so much for this lovely card. The mail here has been notoriously slow. I don't know what's going on with the local post offices, because when I send mail to people, they say they don't get it, and it'll sometimes take weeks instead of the days that it's supposed to take. And this card took a lot longer to get to me than it should have. So I apologize for the lateness in opening this card, but the postal service around here can be super, super slow. Thank you very much for thinking of us. And here's another card. It says Hello Kitty, and it has cute stickers. And this one does not even have any postmarks on it. This says, have a super sensational, great celebrational. Look at all those parrots. Happy birthday from Nicole LaRue and Zoe. We'll have 15 years old in July. Happy birthday to Zoe. That is so awesome. Look at the cute photo. Look. Isn't she adorable? Look at her in her bed. And look at these adorable stickers. Look. Happy birthday, Simba and Splash, 8 years old. And it looks like Simba and Splash. Happy birthday, Stella and Boo, 9 years old. Thank you very much, Nicole. And Nicole also sent us a very generous donation in the form of a cash gift. Thank you so much, Nicole. The cats are going to enjoy some very special treats. Maybe I'll buy them some more scallops because they absolutely love them. And this says, Lady LF, you make this world a brighter place. It's a very nice card. Thank you very much, Nicole. That is very generous of you. This says, Lady LF, you are so wonderful with your cats and kitties, so we love you so much. Oh, look at that. Look at Zoe. You see the cat in the bed? Today's the perfect day to celebrate the incredible and loving person you are. Thank you for all that you do. Happy birthday from Nicole LaRue and Zoe. And there's another photo of Zoe. Thank you very much, Nicole. We hope you and Zoe are doing well. Thank you so much for watching the videos and supporting the channel. And we hope you are enjoying your summer so far. And we hope to be posting lots more videos in the near future. And thank you so much for your generous contribution. It will definitely be put to good use for some kind of birthday treats for us. And here's a package. This says, enjoy your gift from Alex the Cat, Wednesday Adams, and Tuxie. Thank you so much, Alex the Cat, Wednesday Adams, and Tuxie. Those are really cute names. And we got an Amazon gift card. And I'll be using this when I need to buy some supplements for the homemade cat food that I make for the cats. Thank you very much for thinking of us. We hope you're having a wonderful day. And here we have a package from Sharon. I had actually requested some cat tower covers from her because now that we're dealing with fleas and the weather's warmer, I took off the covers that I had on top of the cat towers, the ones that had elastic around the bottom. And those are just so wonderful for keeping the cat towers clean that I thought it would be good to have some that were just like a solid color so that way I could see any fleas on them. So I think that's what this is. Yeah, look. Isn't this awesome? So these go over the top of the cat tower. And then this is like underneath the cat tower. It's like elastic, so it keeps the cat tower covered. And then when I want to clean these, I just take them off and I throw them in the wash. And it's just wonderful. These are just such a great thing that Sharon invented. So I can't wait to put these on the cat towers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That is awesome. You know what these remind me of? These remind me of like giant shower caps. Don't they kind of look like a giant shower cap? So I'm gonna go put these on the cat towers now. Here's one of the cat tower covers. It fits perfectly. And then what happens is once a cat sits on top of it, it kind of sinks into the top of the cat tower and it kind of fills into the shape of the cat tower. And the cats really like these. Here's Simba. He's already laying in one of the cat towers with the cover on it. He says he approves. He says it's very comfortable. I'm glad you like it, Simba. It is 10:35 p.m. and here's Stella. And I want to tell you about what just happened because I was downstairs feeding the Lucky 7. They all got combed for fleas and then I gave them their meal. Then I came upstairs and I wanted to sit down and relax for a few minutes before I start cleaning up the kitchen. And I was thinking, do I feed some crunchies to the OG4 or do I give them a little bit of canned food as a treat? Or maybe they don't want a treat. Maybe they had plenty of dinner and they're good. So as I am walking down the hall, I hear Simba howl, and it's the howl he does right before he's going to throw up. He likes to let everyone know he's going to throw up. I saw him right here on the play rug getting ready to vomit. I literally picked him up and moved him over here to the floor, and he vomited all over the floor. Unfortunately, it looked like maybe he ate his dinner as well as someone else's dinner. Like, he vomited a lot, and that's my fault because I didn't supervise the OG4 when they were eating dinner. I went downstairs to feed the Lucky 7 and to flea comb them. So I should have supervised the OG4, but no one's been throwing up for the past several days, so I figured everything was good, but I guess not. So anyway, after Simba threw up on the floor, he went over to the little grass rug by the front door and he was going to finish throwing up there, but I moved him back to the floor and he threw up on the floor. Now, while this was happening, Splash was visibly upset. Like, he was meowing at me like something's wrong. Like, he's upset that Simba is sick. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. Splash wants to take care of Simba. And then after Simba was done throwing up, Splash went over to Simba and bit him on the back of the neck and kind of tried to mount his back. You know, that act of like dominance that cats do. Simba does it to Splash whenever Splash might get overly nervous about something. And Splash just did it to Simba to kind of make Simba feel better, to kind of like calm him down. So it's really interesting how cats take care of each other, especially if they think they're not feeling good. They will actually take care of each other. Like, I just witnessed Splash taking care of Simba after Simba threw up. So I just wanted to document that because sometimes people don't have that experience, especially if you don't have cats that are part of the same family. What I've noticed is that when you do have cats that are part of the same family, they have much closer bonds than cats that are adopted separately and just, brought together into a house. Although sometimes when you do adopt cats separately, they will form bonds and they will get really close to each other. But I would say the vast majority of the time, they don't get as close to each other as cats that are actually like family. Like Simba and Splash are brothers, so they've been brought up and they've lived together their entire life. So they have a very special bond, right, Stella? And Stella has that bond with Splash and Simba. And they also have a very similar bond to Boo, because Boo was around Splash and Simba since they were born. And Boo was around Stella since they were very, very young cats. I mean, I never saw Stella without Boo or Boo without Stella until after Stella showed me her kittens. And so then Boo used to act like the babysitter when Stella used to come out and eat food. So they have a very tight bond also. It is 9:07 a.m. and we're getting a very late start to our day today because we kept getting woken up overnight by all kinds of different things. And I found something on the bed this morning that is concerning. Hey, Boo. See this? So this, to me, this looks like bloody saliva, and Boo was sleeping on the bed. And Boo would have been sleeping here. You see all the black fur, see all the black cat hair. So Boo was sleeping here, his mouth was around here. So to me that looks like bloody saliva, most likely from his loose tooth, because, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking that's what it is. And I tried to take a look at his mouth, but he wasn't having it. Like, he was very, very angry about it. And I also just noticed that I'm noticing some over-grooming on his hind legs. So I am most likely going to call the vet in a little while. I have to get ready for my day. Again, we're having a very late start. So last night, first I woke up in the middle of the night because Boo was like scratching and itching. So I flea combed him. Did not find any fleas at all. Then I was trying to get back to sleep, and then all of a sudden, all I heard was like an alarm, and nobody was shutting off this alarm. And I was like, what is going on? And I had the windows open because it got really cool. Last night it got down to like 65 degrees. So it was beautiful to sleep with the windows open and have all that nice cool air. But you could hear everything like outside in the alarm, and I was like, oh my God, this is not good. So I had to then get up and I had to shut all the windows, and it was around 4 o'clock in the morning at that time. So I got woken up around 2:30. Then I got woken up around 4:30. And then this morning, thankfully, the phone rang at 8 o'clock because that ended up waking me up, but I'm still having a hard time getting started. And then once I got out of bed and started getting dressed, that's when I saw this. So tomorrow is the start of the weekend. So like today's Friday, and then we have the weekend ahead of us. So I'm probably going to try to get a vet appointment for next week. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll just see what happens when I call the vet. I don't even know if they're open today because it's Friday. And I don't want to have to rush Boo to an emergency room. I mean, if he starts really bleeding from his mouth, then I could take him to the emergency room. But when I did that over a year ago and they pulled his tooth, they were like, make sure you go to the regular vet. Another thing I should mention is that last night, when I was going to bed, it was probably around midnight, and then all of a sudden I heard what sounded like a cat vomiting, and I was like, oh no, what is going on? And it ended up being Boo, and he threw up on the shelf near the window in his room. He threw up all of his dinner as well as some crunchies, and then he threw up a little bit on the floor and also a little bit in the living room, and I had to clean it up, and I was like, this is so not good. So last night we ended up having 2 cats vomiting. And it's just a reminder to myself that I have to definitely keep an eye on the OG4 when they eat, because if anyone, walks away from their plate, someone else is going to sweep in and eat it, and especially if they really like their food, and then they're going to overeat. The other thing I want to do is I'm going to reduce everyone's portions. They've been getting anywhere from usually like 2.7 to 3 ounces of food per meal, but I'm going to reduce that, and we'll just see how that goes. It's 8:52 p.m. and look at what I just found in Boo's room. So first I came in Boo's room because I saw Boo by the window, and I put the light on, and I'm like, what is that noise? Why do I hear noise? I hear like a rustling noise. And then I saw this. Nancy is eating the palm tree. Nancy, don't eat the palm tree. Nancy, don't eat the palm tree. They're not food. Don't eat the palm tree. Don't eat the palm tree, Nancy. Here's Stella laying by the palm tree cat scratcher. So I just scooped all the litter, and I'm in the process of filling all of the water bowls. After I fill the water bowls, I'm going to quickly vacuum downstairs, and then the cats are going to have their dinner. So I don't know why Nancy couldn't wait. I don't know why she had to eat the palm tree. And they do have cat grass. The cat grass is in the kitchen. She could easily eat that. And I hope she doesn't throw up now. It is 9:45 a.m. and look at what the cats got. Look at these beautiful mattresses for this bunk bed. Sharon sent these to us and she made them. They're a custom fit for these shelves. And as you can see, each corner ties onto the posts, so they're not going to slip and slide and come off. There's the one on the bottom. There's the one in the middle. And here's the one on top. And I think they look so nice. I think they really help the shelf look a whole lot better than just the flat, black, hard plastic shelves. And we'll see if the cats like them. So I got the package from Sharon at the post office yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to open it until pretty late last night. And then I put these on the cat tower, so we'll see how the cats like them today. It's 10:15 a.m. Everyone's been getting along so nicely this morning. Nancy and Sammy are up here with the OG4. I just heard Simba growling. It looks like Nancy's trying to avoid trouble. I think I hear Richard crying from the kitchen door. Oh, look who it is. It's Goldie and Ringo. You're not coming up yet. You gotta eat your breakfast, okay? We're gonna eat downstairs. Sammy's going downstairs. Sammy was up here, and that's why Goldie's crying, because she missed Sammy. She wants to be with Sammy. Here's Boo. He's hanging out by the open window in his room. I still have to get a runner to put on this shelf. This is the thing that goes under the runner that's supposed to keep it from sliding around, but as you can see, it slides around. But I'm happy to report there's no blood from overnight. Boo slept on the cat tower in the dining room, and he also spent time here by this window, and I do not find any blood. So that is a good sign. If we could stay blood-free until we go to the vet on Tuesday, that would be great. It is 11:20 a.m. and I don't know if you could see what's going on here. So there's Richard, Nancy, and Ringo. I think the two of them are behind Richard. Goldie was under the bed. And do you see who's over there behind the wires? It's Splash. Splash is underneath the bed with like 3 or 4 of the members of the Lucky Seven, and I'm hearing all this growling, and I'm like, why are they growling at each other? I had no idea Splash was under the bed, but that's where the growling's coming from, because Richard, I believe, or maybe it was Goldie, just had an incident with Boo in the living room, and I heard what sounded like the starting of a cat fight or an ambush, so I got up to see what was going on, and then the members of the Lucky Seven ran under the bed, and then that's when I heard the growling. I'm like, what are they growling about? And then that's when I saw Splash. It is 9 a.m. and that was Boo. Hello, Boo. This used to be a tennis ball, so I'm going to throw this out. I mean, it's been destroyed. Here's Stella and Simba. And everyone's getting ready for their day. So I am going to be leaving soon. It's 9 a.m. and I'm hoping to leave by 10. I still have to go downstairs, feed the lucky seven, scoop the litter, and flea comb them. And then I'm pretty much done. So I decided that I'm not putting out automatic feeders today. So I gave the cats breakfast this morning. Stella's looking at me because she knows. She knows. So they had breakfast this morning. Whatever was left on their plates is in the kitchen. They each had a little bit of canned food and then crunchies on top. So they should be nice and relaxed today and happy. And the lucky seven are going to have the same thing. I'm going to be gone all day and I'm hoping to be back probably around 9 p.m., maybe around 10 p.m., in which case at that time, the cats are going to have their dinner. One of the reasons why I don't want to give them their automatic feeders is because if Boo has bloody saliva, like I don't want him sharing feeders with the other cats because he's FIV positive. So I'm just doing that as a safety precaution. Also, I don't want to come home and clean up vomit. So I'm hoping this will keep them from vomiting. And that way, when I get home, they should be good and hungry. They'll eat their dinner and then I'll be able to sleep through the night. Right, Stella? Even though I've not seen any bloody saliva anywhere, I do know that he still has it because what happens is when he grooms himself, his saliva is like a different consistency. It's like more sticky. And when I notice that, what I do is I take like a pet wipe and I wipe him and then there's like a pink residue on it. So that's how I know that he still has some bleeding in his mouth. And I did wipe him down like right before filming this and he did groom himself a little bit. So that's what's going on. Hopefully they'll just have a nice, relaxing, uneventful day. The plan is to keep the lucky seven downstairs today, and then the OG4 will just be upstairs relaxing. Here's Stella in the kitchen. That's what's left from their breakfast. There's also some cat grass, and that's part of the vacuum cleaner. She's gonna sit here with the plates. Everyone downstairs just had their breakfast, and I don't want to jinx anything, but so far everyone has been behaving really good. I told them what's going on, and so far no one's trying to go upstairs. And I know Nancy's going to try it now because she heard me talking about it. There she goes. That's what happens. What you think about, you bring about. So now that I'm telling you everyone's being good, they don't want to go upstairs. Now I have Nancy and Sammy wanting to go upstairs. So anyway, there's their breakfast. I just scooped the litter down here. I'm going to scoop the litter upstairs. I have videos on for the cats down here. I have videos on for the cats upstairs. And hopefully we're good for the day. The dehumidifier's on. It's nice and dry down here. I'm sure that's going to turn itself off, you know, halfway through the day because I normally empty it a few times. But they have fresh water down here and everything should be good. I also put their toys on. Here's Boo, and let me show you what happens when you don't listen to your intuition and your better judgment. So I fed the cats this morning. They had canned food, they had crunchies, and Boo seemed to be having too good of a time with the plates of food. And I remember thinking, I should probably take those plates away because he's going to throw up. But then I was thinking, no, it's really not that much food. I mean, they split a 5.5 ounce can of food, which means they each got a quarter of a can of food, and they each got like 1 tablespoon of crunchies, and maybe I put another 1 tablespoon on after they ate that. So like 2 tablespoons of crunchies tops, and then 1 5.5 ounce can of food split among 4 cats. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to myself, but moving forward, I'm going to listen to myself. Because I just found this in Boo's room. Yep. Now I gotta clean it up. There's some on the floor also. And here's Simba. And it seems that Simba's hunting a bug. And I think he's hunting a wasp. Oh my God. He's hunting a wasp? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where these wasps are coming from, but that's another wasp. I just cleaned up the vomit and put a fresh runner down. The dirty runner is now in the laundry and I have to wait until it's done in the washing machine before I could leave, just in case, you know, there's an issue with the washing machine. So I don't like leaving that on while I'm not home. And there's the wasp. Do you see it? So what I did was I sprayed it with this Resolve Pet Expert. This stuff is great for ants. Like if I see ants, I spray them with this and it kills them immediately. So I figured maybe it would have a similar effect on wasps. I'm gonna clean that up and then just reset this. It is 10:11 a.m. I wanted to leave 10 minutes ago, but Sammy decided that she is going to fly upstairs so fast. Literally, I was walking out the door to leave, and then Sammy shoots upstairs. So right now, Sammy is underneath my bed. I could not get her out from underneath my bed. She's the only one that like noise does not work for. If I use a tambourine, she doesn't move. If I use a bell, she doesn't move. So she's in my room and I shut the door, and that's where she's going to be today. I mean, I could leave her like out with the other cats, but I'm not going to do that because last night I had a dream, and it was like one of those weird dreams. I had like nightmares all night, and I had a dream that I came home and Sammy was outside, but she was very, very badly injured. It was like she had been attacked. So because I just had that dream last night, that's why I'm not letting her stay here upstairs with the other cats. I don't care. Call me superstitious, whatever. I just had that dream. And in the dream, we had to rush her to the vet. And we didn't even know if the vets were going to be able to save her. So she's in my room. She's under the bed right now. The door's shut. That's where she's going to spend the day. In the room with the door shut. If that's what she wants, that's what she's going to get. Boo, Stella, Splash, and Simba are going to have the rest of the upstairs, and the Lucky Seven are downstairs. Right, Stella? All I want to do is get away for the day. I don't need this unnecessary drama. It is almost 11 p.m. I just got home a little bit later than I expected, and this is what I just found in my bedroom. This is what Sammy did to my bedroom door. See this door? See all the white paint on the door? Yeah, so Sammy's been scratching at the door. But she wanted to be in this room, so she was in the room all day. It is 12 p.m. and here's Boo. He's hanging out here on the play rug today, and he just had a squeeze up, and I put some calming drops in it. He got about half of a dropper full of those drops. The reason why is because there is some blood coming out of his mouth, like around where his loose fang is. I can't say 100% that that is exactly what's causing it. Hey, Stella. But it is like directly below the fang. So, I mean, evidence points to that right now. But we'll see tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to get Boo to the vet. He just ran off. Look at Stella. She's laying in this little plastic bed just like she did the first time she came inside. How you doing, Stella? I was cleaning up some stuff in my work area in the dining room, and I had a pile of like paperwork and stuff in here, and I cleaned it up and I put it here because I wanted to take it downstairs, and Stella found it. Hello, Stella. I just took out 2 extra large training pads and I put them down on the floor. I think I still have to open that other one a little bit. But I put these here just so the cats can lay on them and get used to them, because I normally put one of these in the carrier when Boo goes to the vet. And that just reminded me that Sharon did send like one of the vomit blankets, a small one, to put in the carrier with Boo when he goes to the vet. So I'm going to find that and put that out also, just to kind of get him used to the scents of these and kind of throw the cats off the trail a little bit as far as bringing a carrier out tomorrow. I was thinking of bringing a carrier out today and leaving it out, but the cats are so smart. Like when they see it, they know something's up, and it raises red flags with them, and then it puts them into cautionary mode. So I don't want to do that, because that's what I did last time. This time I'm only going to take the carrier out when I'm ready to put Boo in it. And I'm going to try to just get him in it as fast as I can. The appointment with the vet is at 2 p.m. and it takes 20 to 30 minutes to get there, depending on the traffic. So I'd like to leave here at like 1:30, which means I'm going to try to get Boo into the carrier around 12:30 or 12:45. Like I need to leave myself a good amount of time to get him in the carrier. If I start getting him into the carrier at 1 p.m., that leaves me a half hour to get him into the carrier, which I mean sounds like a lot of time, but if he's in a I don't want to go anywhere mode, that could go by really, really fast. So I think I'd rather give myself more time and then have him just sit in the carrier for like extra time. Like if I got him in the carrier at 12:30 and he sat in the carrier for an hour before we went to the vet, I don't think that would be a bad thing. So that's the situation. I'm also thinking maybe I need to refill the Feel Away dispensers. I'm going to go look at them and see if they're empty. The diffusers are empty, so I am going to refill them. This is what I use. I use the Feel Away Optimum. This is the only stuff that really works for us, at least. It is 9:50 a.m. and the cats and I are having some playtime before they eat their breakfast. And we've been playing with the spider on a string. Nancy is up here, and when I took the spider out, she went crazy over it, and she grabbed it and ran off with it. So Nancy's in the kitchen with one of the spider toys. I just let her have it. She's happy there. And I've been playing with this other spider toy. I've been kind of using this training mat, almost like a game board for the cats. And Stella was on this side, Boo's on this side. There's Splash, he just showed up. But they were having fun playing with the spider. And I'm just trying to keep our schedule as normal as possible today. And I'm trying not to think about the appointment we have, the VET appointment. And yeah, just trying to keep everything calm. And I have to figure out what I'm going to put in Boo's breakfast. Like, I don't want to give him those calming drops before he goes to the vet, because I don't know what they're going to have to do at the vet. I don't know if they're going to have to do a procedure on him. Like, when we went to the emergency animal hospital the last time his tooth was bleeding, the other tooth that they took out, I mean, they just yanked it right out because it was really, 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 really loose. I don't know if that's what is going to happen today. Like, I don't know what they're going to do, so I don't want to give him like anything that's potentially going to be a sedative if they might have to give him something in the office. I'll probably just use Rescue Remedy, a few drops of that. I think that works well. And they're getting turkey for breakfast, and I picked that because turkey has a high tryptophan content, which can be very relaxing. And we're just trying to keep the daily routine. Now, I did have a talk with Boo last night and earlier this morning to kind of give him a heads up, but he might ignore that little discussion. The biggest hurdle today is getting him in the carrier. That's the biggest hurdle. If I could get past that hurdle, then we're all good. So Stella had a lot of playtime with the spider before. That's why I'm giving Boo a lot of playtime with the spider, just on his own. Here's Stella, she moved over. That is the vomit blanket for Boo's carrier. And I took it out yesterday. I found it in the laundry room. And it's been out here just kind of absorbing everyone's scent. Oh, it always gets stuck on that thing. It's 11:20 a.m. and here's Boo. He's relaxing in this corner of the living room. I think he likes it here because he gets a nice cool breeze from the air conditioning. This has been one of his favorite spots over the past few days. And here is the carrier that I'm going to be using. This is the same exact carrier I used the last time Boo took a ride to the vet. And I took it out of the storage room. I'm starting to get all my supplies ready. So I have this yellow blanket that Sharon gave the cats, and I'm going to try to use this. If I need to throw a blanket over him to get him in the carrier, which is what I had to do last time, I'm going to try with this one because it's not too big. And then I have this microfiber towel, and if the smaller blanket doesn't work, I'm going to try this. And then that brown thing is what I used to cover the outside of the carrier. And I did not put anything inside of it yet. I'm going to put the stuff from upstairs inside of it. I should probably get that and then bring it down here and put it in here now. Because what I'm hoping is I'll just bring this upstairs, grab Boo really fast, put him in it before he even knows what's going on, and try to get him in it that way. Here's Sammy. I've already prepared the back seat of the car. I took everything out of the back seat and I put a towel down on the back seat, and I put the car in the garage so it could cool down a little bit. It was already hot inside the car this morning, and if I keep it in the garage, it's noticeably cooler. The plan is not to move the car out of the garage until Boo is already in the carrier. Once he's safe and secure in the carrier, then I should have plenty of time to get the car out of the garage. Now, I say this now, but things could change, because if it takes me a while to get Boo in the carrier, I might have to take a break and then get the car out and then come back and try to get him back in. So this is the plan. This is the mission. I could feel it in the pit of my stomach. If you're familiar with the chakras, I'm totally feeling this in my solar plexus chakra right now. And yeah, that's how I always feel when I have to go into mission mode. Whenever I need to get a cat to a vet or an animal hospital, or even trap a cat, then I always feel like this. I feel like I go into mission mode. And it's not about thinking, and it's not about anything regarding using the mind. It's all about using your will. And I guess a lot of that comes out of the solar plexus chakra, which feels like the pit of your stomach. So that's what the energy feels like right now. I'm not nervous. I'm not anxious. If anything, I just feel determined. But I know that I'm up against a battle. Here's Ringo. He's in Boo's room. Looks like he's on his way trying to eat a palm tree. It is almost 12:30, and I just gave Boo a few pets just to kind of see what's going on. He's still where he was previously. He seems pretty relaxed, but I know the minute I try to pick him up, he's going to start freaking out. So I brought the vomit blanket down here, as well as the wee-wee pads. I'm going to use both of them. That is a two-sided blanket from Sharon, so I put the yellow side up because Boo likes yellow, and that way it's just easier for me to see if he has an accident in there. So last time we went to the vet, Boo did not have an accident in the carrier, but the time before that, he had an accident in the carrier. So I think it was just a little more than a year ago. I think he went to the vet around the end of June last year. That was before the flea situation. That was to have just a general checkup after his tooth was removed in March. So he had his fang removed at the end of March. I think it was March 24th, because I had my wisdom tooth out the same exact day. And then I waited for him to heal before I took him to the vet. We went to a different vet than who he normally goes to, because we could not get an appointment with the vet that he normally goes to. But today we're going to the vet he normally goes to, who he went to last December, so just about 6 or 7 months ago. It's about 12:45, and I split the difference with Boo because I looked at the traffic, and it's only going to take us about 20 minutes to get there. I just shut the doors to Boo's room, my room, and downstairs, and I hear what sounds like Ziggy and Sammy meowing in my room, but they're not going to come out until I get Boo in the carrier. The carrier's already in the living room. I have it near the sofa, as close to where Boo is, but kind of like right around the corner from where he is, so he doesn't really see it. Yeah, it's go time. It is 1:45, and here's Stella. And I'm still home because I could not get Boo in the carrier. I've been trying for over an hour right now, and Boo is just too smart now. Like when I first picked him up when he was like laying in the corner, I almost got him in the carrier. But then he just turns into like all just flailing arms and legs, and he got out. So I've not been able to get him. I've been trying with the towel. I've been trying with sheets. I've been trying with blankets. I was trying with the small blanket. Then I tried with the large blanket. And the problem that I have is he's super fast. He's very strong. And he does not want to go anywhere. So, I mean, at least I know he's not sick because he's running around the house like a maniac. Do you see him back here? So this is where he runs and he hides. And then what I have to do is I have to grab the vacuum. And then I start vacuuming around here. And then he runs out of here. So the other problem I have is that this house is kind of like circular. So he could run from this room, which is the dining room, to the kitchen, down the hallway to the living room, from the living room to the dining room. I mean, we were just going in circles and circles and circles. And at one point, I got him into his room, and he went under the day sofa, and I could not get him out from under the day sofa. Like, I just relaxed for a while with him. I was like, okay, Boo, let's just calm down. Tried squeeze ups, nope. Tried meaty sticks, nope. Tried his favorite treats, nope. Nothing would get him out. Finally, what I had to do is I had to start, like, picking up and moving the day sofa. Then he would move a little bit, but then what I had to do after that was open the door and vacuum underneath the day sofa, and then he ran out the door, and I was like, okay, my only chance of getting him is throwing like a blanket or a sheet over him and then grabbing him and then dumping him in the carrier that way. And at one point, I did get the sheet on top of him, and I was trying to pick him up in the sheet, and he got out. That's how close I was. I am very not happy about this. I called the vet's office and I told them that we're not going to be able to make it because there's no way I'm going to get Boo in the carrier. They understood. And she was able to reschedule me for next week. That's the earliest we could get. So 6 days from today. And if things get worse and he starts bleeding more from his mouth, I'm just going to have to get him to the local animal hospital. And I'm just going to have to get him in the carrier whenever I could get him in the carrier. Like, even if I have to do it in the middle of the night, I'll just have to do it that way, take him to the animal hospital and have it dealt with there if I'm not going to be able to get him to the vet. And the thing is, he was hissing and growling and making noises I've never heard him make before. And then he would get to the point where he was like hyperventilating. Like, it was just really not good for him. He was just like not happy at all. And so then I would just like, okay, Boo, let's calm down. Let's relax. Let's take it easy. But then after a while, he would just freak out again. And can you see all the scratches on my hand? Yeah. So that's how mad he was. Not only was he like frightened, he was mad. Like, he was like, stay away from me or I'm going to attack you. So it was very unsuccessful. I'm definitely not happy about this at all. And I really think the reason why is because Boo's just smarter and smarter. Like, every time he has to go in a carrier and go to the vet, he's like smarter and he knows like I'm not doing that. So I might have to buy a completely different carrier, but I trust the carrier that I'm using because it's really sturdy. I don't trust carriers with like zippers for Boo because he'll get out of it. He's known as Boudini because he can get out of carriers really easily. So I'm just going to keep the carrier up here for a week. That's what I'm going to have to do. And the cats are just going to have to get used to having it around. Here's Simba. He's relaxing in Boo's room. He was in Boo's room with Boo when I was trying to get Boo into the carrier. Simba's very relaxed. Boo's the opposite right now. Like, I've never seen Boo freak out so much the way he freaked out today. Like, I've never seen him do that before. I've never seen him get so mad. It is 4:45 p.m. and here's Splash and Simba. I just got back about 5 minutes ago, so probably around 2:30 I decided that I'm just going to go out and do some grocery shopping and run some errands because I was really mad, like, about the situation with Boo this morning, and I'm still mad. Like, I'm still so mad about what happened. And he's still hiding on that shelf in the corner. He's relaxing. He's not really hiding because he's been there the whole time. But yeah, I'm just really aggravated with the whole situation. And I'm just going to have to practice with Boo. I'm going to practice every day with him, and I'm going to give him some kind of sedative every day. I'm going to try those calming drops. I'm going to give him like a full dropper and then see if I could get him in the carrier. The next day, I'm going to give him CBD oil and see if I could get him in the carrier. I'm just going to try different tactics to see if I could get him in the carrier. It's going to become like a daily occurrence. And then hopefully for the next vet appointment, I'll be able to get him in the carrier. If not sooner, because if something happens and his mouth starts bleeding more or the tooth falls out, I might have to, get him to the animal hospital, before the next doctor appointment. Here's Stella. She's hanging out near the carrier. It is 8:45 p.m. Here's Simba. And here's Boo. He is back in this corner. This is where he started his day. So he came out a little while ago. I have been scrubbing litter boxes for the past 2.5 hours. So I started around 6 p.m. and I just got done. And I scrubbed 9 litter boxes, and they all have fresh litter. Not only did I scrub the litter boxes, but I also cleaned around where they normally are, like in the house. I cleaned the floor underneath where they're kept, and I vacuumed and scrubbed anywhere else that I needed to scrub. So that felt really good because I was still really angry about what happened today. Prior to that, I ended up taking a nap. I laid down on the couch around 5 p.m. and I took like an hour nap because I just wanted to feel better. And I did feel a little bit better when I woke up. But then I was like, let me do something productive and let me get all the litter boxes done. So I'm happy I got those done. But otherwise, like, my day was a complete mess. I set aside like 2 hours to take Boo to the vet, and instead I ended up running errands and then taking a nap and scrubbing litter boxes just because I needed to get rid of, these negative feelings. So when I was scrubbing litter boxes, I came inside at one point and Boo was in the living room. So he came out from where he was hiding before. And he had a bit of a squeeze up. And I gave him some crunchies. And then I sat on the couch and he came over and he was getting a ton of pets. So while I was scrubbing the litter boxes, I was thinking, like, why am I so angry that Boo would not go in the carrier? Like, what's going on here? And what I realized was it was because I have spent so much of my time like caring for these cats. And with Boo, it was training him. I spent so many hours training him. And I spend so many hours every day taking care of these cats, cleaning litter boxes, giving them food, combing them, brushing them, taking care of them. And it's definitely not cheap taking care of this many cats. So I really feel like, I have sacrificed so much. I have given so much to these cats. I mean, look at how much of my house has been given to these cats. Pretty much every room of my house has been given over to cats. And Boo could not even go into a carrier when I wanted him to go into a carrier. That is so disrespectful, Boo. After everything that I have done for you, you don't even trust me that you would not even go into a carrier. Like, what is that about? What is that about, Boo? Why? Every day we are going to have carrier training, Boo. This is what you caused for yourself, okay? We could have been done with the vet. Everything could have been over already, but nope. Now you got to go next week. And now every single day, you're going to get some kind of calming medication and you are going to be placed in a carrier. Every day, Boo. Every day we're going to do this. Yeah. Meanwhile, Stella is checking out the carrier. She almost jumped in it from the top. Maybe if I sprayed it with the pet remedy spray, she'd go in there. As I'm showing you Stella, Boo is rubbing up against my arm. He's trying to butter me up. It is 9:30 a.m. and I'm getting a very late start to my day. Boo had me up in the middle of the night because he was scratching and itching, and I was flea combing him and I got no fleas off of him. And I didn't go to bed until quite late, so I woke up today absolutely exhausted. What I just fed them was a can of Reveal. You know, one of those little 3-ounce cans. I split it 4 ways. And Boo got some of the calming drops. He got about a full dropper full, about 1 milliliter, which is what's recommended for 8 to 15 pounds. And Boo would fall in that range. So hopefully he'll eat what's on his plate. And then I'll see how he does. Because I figure if I give it to him now, by the time I get ready for my day and get their breakfast ready, it's going to be like 10:30, almost 11. And I'll see how he is. Also, I should mention that he threw up last night. So when he was itching and scratching in the middle of the night, it was like 4 a.m. I got up and I was like, okay, well, it's kind of really humid in the house. I'm going to shut the windows and put the AC on. So when I went into his room to shut the window in his room, that's when I saw vomit near the window in his room, like on the shelf. And I was like, it had to be him, because when I went to bed, he was sitting on the shelf. Then I went back to bed, and thank God I had one of those training pads on the bed. I mean, I had the vomit blanket on the bed, which needs to go in the wash anyway, but I had a training pad on top of that, and all of a sudden, Boo starts throwing up again because I had given him a few treats and also a squeeze up, and he threw that up also. Then I was like, oh no, there's something wrong here. And I went back to bed because it was really similar to what he did like the other night. Then I got up this morning and I went into the dining room to put some stuff away, and I stepped in vomit. So it seems that first he vomited in the dining room, then he vomited in his room, and then he vomited on my bed. All of that could be from a nervous stomach, because we know Boo has a nervous stomach, and we all know that he was extremely agitated yesterday because of, trying to get him into a carrier. So we're going to see how it goes today, and we're going to see how these calming drops do for him. He just took it. We have to take some time for them to work. These are the ones he just took. Nature Vet Quiet Moments Calming Drops, L-tryptophan with chamomile and ginger. These have tryptophan, chamomile extract, ginger extract, valerian extract, and lavender extract. All of those should be very calming for him. It is 10:30 a.m. and there's Stella in the carrier. So we started some carrier training today. Now, I was able to pick Boo up, but I did not put him in the carrier because I don't want to distress him too much after yesterday. But I picked him up for quite a while, and I walked him over to within a few feet of the carrier. And then he started wiggling a little bit, but it was way easier to carry him today than it was yesterday. So it looks like the calming drops are moving in the right direction. Now, with Stella, I wanted to try something different. So with Boo and the other cats, what I normally do is I lift the top of this up. It has a top door and a side door. And I lift the top door up and I try to drop Boo in from the top. And then he gets all arms and legs and it doesn't work. But with Stella, what I just did was I took the carrier and I put it upright. All right, come on, Stella. There you go. Good job. Good job, Stella. So I put it upright like this with the door open, and I picked up Stella and I just placed her in here like butt first, and she went right in. I closed the door and I put it down like we just saw it, and it worked really easily. That is how I had to get Stella into a carrier the first time I took her to the vet, like when she was getting spayed. I was using a different carrier at the time, and it did not have the top door. It only had the side door. And that was how I had to get her into the carrier. I think at the time I also had to use a towel. I had to like wrap her in a towel and then place her in the carrier that way. So maybe that's what I'll have to do for Boo. Like, I'm going to see how that works. I'll probably try it with another cat later. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to cause Boo too much distress today. Right now he's in my room. But as you can see, Stella's unfazed. Here's Boo. He's on top of the cat tower right now. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I got a bunch of fleas off of Simba today. I don't know, I probably got like 7 or 8 fleas off of him all around his neck area. I had to comb him for quite some time. I don't know where he got the fleas from. And then I combed Splash a little bit and I got some fleas off of his neck also. Did not get anything off of Boo or Stella. It's about 8:25 p.m. The cats just got some of their treats. These are Pet Honesty multivitamins. The cats love these. And look at who's in the carrier. It's Simba. And the way I got Simba in the carrier was I put a few of these treats in the carrier, and then Simba went in to get the treats, and then I kind of just pushed his hind legs in and shut it. But as you can see, he's not really looking to get out. He's just kind of made himself comfortable in there. You want to come out, Simba? Simba, you want to come out? He's just like all relaxed. Okay, there you go. There you go, Simba. So today Stella was in the carrier, Simba was in the carrier, and I should also mention that I picked up Boo and I carried him from the kitchen to here, like next to the carrier, and he let me do that. The only thing I haven't done is put Boo in the carrier today, and I have not put Splash in the carrier. I don't know if I'd be able to get Splash in. I'd have to lure him in with something. I just put 2 more treats in the carrier, and Simba's going in to get him. He's like, I have no problems. So all I did was give him a little push, and he went in. Here's Splash. How you doing, Splashy? Come here, Splash. Come here, Splash. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos, and please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.